The Masterclass series is graciously funded by the National Endowment for the Arts. Art Works. In an age where college funding is limited, education resources are questionable, and arts programs are being cut, the Coalition for African Americans in the Performing Arts, better known as CAAPA, has stepped up to the plate. Inspired by CAAPA as part of its commitment in supporting classical music education and performance artists throughout the United States and abroad, we offer the Masterclass series. CAAPA marries serious music students with acclaimed music masters of color, targeting historically black colleges and universities, or HBCUs, high school performing arts schools, and music conservatories, including the universities of Alabama State, Clark Atlanta, Fisk, Hampton, Howard, Lane College, Morgan State, North Carolina Central, Spelman College, Virginia State, and Xavier University of Louisiana. Since its launching in 2014, the Masterclass series helps students work on technique, improve stage presence, fine-tune performances, and build self-confidence. While emphasis is placed on classical music students to participate in the Masterclass series, audiences and faculty members are also encouraged to attend the free-to-the-public sessions. An exciting and fresh way to help CAAPA bring color to the classics. The Coalition for African Americans in the Performing Arts, in partnership with North Carolina Central University, presents the Masterclass series, the premier Black classical music masterclass series. Praised in opera news as a gentle actor and elegant musician, and the Wall Street Journal for his mellifluous baritone, Justin Austin has been performing professionally since age 4. Born in Stuttgart, Germany, to professional opera singer parents, Austin began his singing career as a boy soprano, performing at venues such as Teatro Real, Bregenzer Festspiele, Lincoln Center, and the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. While working with directors such as Gertz Friedrich and Tazewell Thompson, Austin was able to realize his love for music and performance early on. Noting some of the highlights of his 21-22 season, Mr. Austin makes his Metropolitan Opera debut as Marcellus in Hamlet by Brett Dean. He also joins the Met covering the leading role of Charles Blow in Fire Shut Up in My Bones by Terence Blanchard. The baritone will also star as George Armstrong in the return of Intimate Apparel by Lynn Nottage and Ricky Ian Gordon at the Lincoln Center Theater. Austin has won awards from organizations such as the Recording Academy, the NAACP, the George London Foundation, Opera Ebony, the Gerda Lissner Foundation, Manhattan School of Music, and the National Association of Negro Musicians. Justin is a proud graduate of the Choir Academy of Harlem, LaGuardia Arts, Heidelberg Lied Academy, and the Manhattan School of Music, holding the Bachelor of Music and Master of Music degrees. Mr. Austin is under the tutelage and mentorship of famed soprano Catherine Malfitano. Rocks don't fall on me.
Oh, rocks don't fall on me. Rocks and mountains don't fall on me.
Facilitating today's masterclass is baritone Justin Michael Austin. Oh. Hello to everyone and welcome to CAAPA's virtual Masterclass series. My name is Angela Renée Simpson. I am your program director and your host for this series. I would like to thank North Carolina Central University and its music department for agreeing to partner with us today in bringing color to the classics. To the NCCU music students and faculty who are observing via Zoom, we will have a short question and answer session after Mr. Austin finishes working with Ms. Paul. Please feel free to use the chat button for any questions you may have. And those who are watching on Facebook Live, please post your questions in the comments. And now, without further ado, I bring to you our music master baritone, Justin Austin. Hi, Justin.
Hi. Very nice.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
It's a great honor and privilege to be here with you all today. And I just want to let the two singers know that this might be nerve-wracking or it might not be, but I just want you to know that it's a safe place and we are all here in support of you. We're all rooting for you. I'm not here to make you feel any other way than inspired and full of gratitude for this beautiful thing we all get to participate in called music. So enjoy yourselves today and really, really have fun and sing with your heart.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was wonderful, wonderful. Okay, and now we will have NCCU sophomore soprano, Ms. Aliyah Busby. Okay, there we go. Wonderful. I'll leave you to it.
Good evening, my name is Aliyah Busby, and today I will be singing Selve by Handel, accompanied by Miss Elvira.
Wonderful. Brava. You sound absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to your accompanist, and congratulations to your teacher. You've done really, really great work, and I am happy to listen to you today. It really is beautiful. Can you tell me your name one more time?
Aliyah Busby.
Aliyah. So Aliyah, what is it that you want to do with your singing, and what do you want out of your singing? And before you answer, I want to make it very clear that I'm going to be asking you a bunch of questions, and it's not to quiz you. There's no correct answer. The correct answer is whatever your honest answer is. I am asking these questions to not stump you. I'm asking these questions so that I can get to know you a little more, so I know exactly how to offer help. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So what do you want in your world of singing? What are you after in your pursuit of your degree and what you want to do in this world?
So I'm a vocal performance major, and my dream is to perform on stage. I want to, sing opera as a career. I can't see myself doing anything else at this point. So it's deep down in here.
Wow, that's really great to hear. And what about it do you love? Why is it this that you chose to do and not something else?
Well, I would answer that by saying that I chose this because it brings me peace. And it's not because, I find it easy or anything. I love the challenge. I love how I feel when I'm on stage. I feel like I can express myself in a way that I can't do every day throughout the day. So it's just that, I don't know, it's that adrenaline that I love so much. And I haven't gotten it from anything else, math, science. Nothing but music has done that for me. So I hope I answered the question.
No, absolutely. No, it's interesting that you say that. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I were to distill that into kind of one sentence, it would be around the theme of self-expression, right? You do this because it's a way to express yourself. Why do you want to express yourself? What's the need to express yourself?
I feel like I have a story to tell. And
you have oh, wow.
I have a story to tell, and the stage is the best way that I can get it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a burning sensation when I keep things bottled up. And the minute I hit the stage, I feel as though that's release, that's peace. That's what I've been craving this entire time, where I've been, just walking around with everything that's bottled up inside. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right. So it's bottled up inside, and this is an opportunity, a platform, if you will, to kind of release it, right? And
Yes.
to show that. But why? Like, why are you releasing it? Why do you need to release it? Who are you releasing it for? Is it purely to express yourself and to kind of dig deep and to almost like a meditative or therapeutic thing for you?
I would say I have two answers for that. One would be, for me, therapeutic release, and the second answer would be for others. I feel as though I've always wanted to help others, and I thought that the only way that I could do that was to be in the medical field. And when performing was introduced to me, and the comments that I've gotten after I perform, it's like, wow, you touch me. And that's what I dream of doing, just touching an audience. You don't know what you're gonna run into when you're meeting so many different people, you don't know what they're going through. And you can have so much control over how they leave the presence of the room, you know, by what you sing, how you portray the characters. So for me,
Right. So it's kind of two sides of a coin. One side is that it does help you in ways, but also the other side is that it helps others, and it's almost a service. You're kind of in the service industry. When you agree.
I would definitely.
So I think the challenge of, I mean, in my humble opinion, the challenge of this career is that in particular is making sure we have a healthy balance of performing for ourselves and performing for others. And it's important that we have priorities, and we have what's most important, so that we are able to do our job, tackle the task at hand. And I think at the top of the priority is being a little selfish and making sure that we are inspired and that we take care of ourselves so that we are able to share our best selves with others. You know, we're putting on the mask ourselves before we help other people with their mask, right? Like they say on the airplane. And it's important that we get everything in order so that we can then remove ourselves and allow us to be a vessel for communication, for love, for joy, and for what geniuses like Handel and the unknown librettist of this opera, that can speak through us, you know. And like you were saying about how being in the medical field, you realize wasn't the only way that you could help people. People come up to you and say how they were touched and inspired. That's what we all live for. That's why we're on the stage and not just singing for ourselves in the shower, or for in our bedrooms or whatever. We perform for the world. And the special thing about opera is that although it's changing in ways, and we're capturing things, and we're doing the Med HD series and things, it's really meant to be a kind of once in a lifetime opportunity every single performance. There's no way to capture it. It's you either you're there or you missed it, and you can come on another time. But when you come the next time, it's completely different than it was the last time, even if it's the same repertoire sung by the same singers and played by the same players. It's different every time. There's something different in the atmosphere. And it makes it really, really special and really magical, if you will. And I think that you are singing this extremely beautifully. I would like to pay a little bit more attention to the text of what you're saying, because even though it sounds beautiful, you want to make sure that the message is coming across. It's very little text in this aria, and it's repeated. And you, as an artist, and in this situation, you're not in a production, you're singing this out of context. So it's up to you to be the director. It's up to you to be the conductor. It's up to you to be, the costume designer. You have this lovely dress on and you look wonderful. At the same time, you have to remember who you are in this world, because you're not you are the character, right? And you're not even a woman. You're a dude, and you're a king. You know, there's an aura about you. There's a presence that you have even before we hear the sound of your voice, that the audience should be able to start to tell the story, start to understand the story. Your storytelling, as soon as you walk on the stage, as soon as we're able to see you, because we see you before we hear you. So it's up to you to deliver these things clearly, you know? And I'm not saying you're not doing anything wrong. I just want you to be mindful of all of these things happening at the same time. So could you just speak to me the text?
Care selve, ombre beate, ven go en traccia del mio cuore.
Great. Okay, so I want to make the text just slightly more Italianate, so that it comes across a little more clear with the language. I would like the language to have just a little more integrity, for lack of a better word. So, care, in that word, you have the a vowel and you have the e vowel, right? And then you have a split second that it's not even as long as a second. It's like half of a second where we get to hear the R. And it's not an American R. It's not care. And it's not a rolled dramatic R. Care. It's just very, very, very quick. Care. Can you just say care?
Care,
Right. Beautiful. Care. One more time.
care,
Right. So on the first syllable of that word, try to make it as bright as possible. It's going to be different, slightly different when we sing it. You know, we want the warmth, we want the chiaro and the scuro, but we want the light and the dark. But make sure that when we're speaking it, we're keeping it really pure. So instead of call, like a AW, like and you see a little puppy or a cute baby, it's not it's it's like you're discovering something. Ka. Can you say that?
ka,
Yes. Yes. And for the C, make sure that it's not a big hard K sound, ka, but almost like if a C was born out of a hard G sound. So it's not gare and it's not care, but it's care.
care,
Yes, very good. And the second word, selve, selve, and the L, it's not as short as the R in care, but it's not a long American L. It's not selve, but it's se, and you want that vowel se to be as long as possible. And at the very last second, we're gonna drop in the L, selve, and it's almost like just se, seve, but with the L, selve.
selve,
Yes, but not selve. Don't sing. Don't vocalize the L that much. Just selve.
selve,
Yes, very good. Now say that together. Care selve.
care selve,
Very good. Now go to the next word. Hombre.
ombre. Continue?
Yes,
Or-
please.
Ombre beate.
Right. So very good. Hombre is good. But you went on the last word, the 3-syllable word, you went beate, beate. And it's not, even though there's a T there, we're not going to pronounce like a very t sound. It's almost a D, almost. But beate.
Beate.
Right. So if you would say the word the, can you say the word the? Right. Now, elongate the TH sound of the. The. Right. Now, try to make the TH sound, instead of the, how that was really long, try to make it as short as possible. The. Right. So that TH, now try to say that TH with a slight influence of T sound. So like the. Yes, yes. So now say te. Yes. Beate. Yes, that's it. And the stress is on the ah sound. Beate. Very, very good. So say what we have so far. Care selve, hombre beate.
Care selve, hombre beate.
And make sure you don't stress the te. Even the it's. I'm happy that you're paying close attention to the sounds, but make sure it's not beate, but it's beate.
Okay. Care selve, hombre beate.
Yes, and make sure on the selve that this first syllable gets more love. Selve.
Selve.
Yes. Hombre.
Hombre beate.
Keep it very long. Beate.
Hombre beate.
So and make sure that the te it comes right out of the ah. So te. There's a break in it. If I say te, there's a break. But you want te. No.
5 minutes, Mr. Austin. 5 minutes.
Thank you.
Hombre beate.
Yes, very good. Keep going. Vengo
in traccia del mio cor.
Very, very, very good. All right. So for the traccia, that's when we actually are going to roll the R a little bit. Traccia. And there's a double C. So there is going to be a little space between the ah and the second ah with the C sound, right? So traccia. Say that.
Traccia.
Very, very, very good. And on the last word, cor, make sure that we have a little flip at the end. So it's not co, but cor.
Cor.
Yes, but not rocor, but cor. Just a quick one.
Cor.
Yes, very good. And when you say mio, the stress is on the first syllable. So it's mio. It's not mio, and it's not mio. It's mio.
Mio.
Right. So at the end, where you have mio cor, right? The mio is only an eighth note long. It's quick. However, we still need to get the sense that that you're saying mio. You can't rush that. Mio cor. Can you say that?
Mio cor.
Right. Beautiful. Now, can we sing this with that in mind?
Okay.
And can you just give her maybe 3 before? Very good, very good. I would like you to, when you have these repeated texts, have some sense of differentiation in it. Make a reason, have a valid reason to repeat the text. Vengo in traccia del mio cor. Vengo in traccia del mio. I mean, he has it written here differently, so you don't have to go crazy with it. But make sure there's a different sound that you're making, especially when you have the care selve, right? Can you go from the second system on page 4, second measure? So care, and take a breath. Care selve. Okay. Great, but make sure it's beate, like we said before. But also on the before that, care selve, make sure that you have that bar of rest, because there's a lot of storytelling in the silence, and don't sing over what's written. Really allow what's written to be sung through. It's like care selve, breast, 2, 3, hombre, right? One more time from right there. So that eighth note is a little quicker. Oh, it's not. One more time. Hombre. Hombre, sorry. Hombre beate, and it's ate. Does that make sense? Yeah. Going, and then make sure that we hear the flipped or hear the rolled R. Going tra. Make sure that R, that rolled R, is on that pitch. Can you sing that just by yourself? Going tra. Yes. That's it. That's it. Keep going. Every time you have traccia, there needs to be that rolled R. Going tra, and on that pitch, going traccia.
That's time, Mr. Austin. That is time.
Okay.
It was lovely meeting you. Thank you so much.
You as well. You as well. You have so much promise and such a beautiful gift, and I'm happy to have met you. And you're well on your way. Congratulations. Just remember these small details that I'm giving you. Obviously, we don't have enough time to really dig in, but I wanted to give you as much as I could in this short time. Just remember those rolled R's and the long elongated vowels and the integrity of the text, because that is what's the most important part, is making sure that we're intelligible so that the audience can receive what we have to give.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, Ms. Busby. Next, we have NCCU Junior Soprano, Miss Aissa Paul.
Hello, my name is Aissa Paul. I'll be singing in a Sentimental Mood by Ellington. Company God. That's in a sentimental mood, I can see the stars come through my room while your loving attitude is like a
Wow, that was absolutely beautiful. I love the quality of your voice, and you seem very sure of how you want to tell this story. And I applaud you for being creative with your choices and being deliberate with your choices. Really, really beautiful work. Congratulations to you, your accompanist, and your teacher. Wonderful job. What's your name one more time?
Aissa.
All right. Can you tell me what you would like to do with your singing in the world of music?
I would like to be a singer and a songwriter. So I want to take my singing and the stuff I learned here into my creative process with songwriting. That's what I want to do for my career.
Wow. So you want to write songs for yourself? Do you want to write songs for others, or do you want to do both?
Both.
Awesome. I'm happy to hear that because I'm obviously not familiar with your writing, but the stuff you were coming up with on the spot, at least in the song, that is in its own way composition, and I thought it was excellent. And I also think your voice is absolutely stunning. I love the quality, and I am happy that you are going to be writing songs for yourself as well, because the world needs to hear your wonderful gift. Absolutely. That being said, like I was telling your colleague, we sing songs in a format like this, and with, you know, what both of you want in your careers. It's not just for us. It's only for us so that we can refine it and then give it away, right? And it's kind of like having a child where the child really doesn't belong to you, but you take care of it and you want to prepare it for the world, but you also want to prepare their skill set and their mindset so that they can be a fully functional person on their own, but also they can have a chance to do some good in the world on their own. And so we take so much care in our preparation and with our voice and the music and our research and this and that, or with our teachers and our coaches and this and that, so that we can have something well formed and then give it away, give it to the world, so that the world can be inspired by it. And part of that, we need to make sure that the text is coming across. And this iconic, beautifully written first line by Mr. Ellington, in a sentimental mood. We need to make sure that we hear the D. It doesn't have to be, a very strong and dramatic D, but we need to, I know we're working through technology and I'm on my phone and you might have done it and I just didn't hear it. But that's very important so that it's, the mood that is sentimental and not like a sound that a cow makes. You get what I'm saying? Same thing with room. I can see the stars that come through my room, not my room, right? And you can't do this with the D, but you can do it with the voice consonant of the M, where you can kind of sing the M a little bit, and kind of paint a picture of your room. We should be able to kind of like see what your room looks like by the way you sing the word room, and how you're vibrating on the M of room, right? And make sure that later on, when you have the word sentimental, and it's kind of written in almost an impossible way to sing through without taking a breath, make sure that you either don't take a breath, or if you take a breath, repeat the word sentimental. Because if you take a breath between senta and then mental, then what the audience processes is the word mental, right? Mental mood or mental me. And mental me, a song about mental me is a whole is a whole different kind of song, right? And it's sentimental me. It makes so much more sense in what this ballad is about. Does that make sense? So in your creativity and coming up with how you want to sing this, how you want to deliver this in the style, just make sure that the text is coming across, because Mr. Ellington was huge on text, and even in his big band compositions, or solo piano compositions, it's all based on words, and the instruments are trying to speak the words through their instrument, you know. So it's very dreamy how he has the music set, but make sure that it's coming from the words. All right, so try it again from the beginning, and make sure, without over enunciating, make sure we get the T of mood, room, and all of these kind of consonants that make the text intelligible.
In the sentimental mood, I can see the stars come through my room, while your loving attitude is like a
Beautiful, great, that's awesome. Can you hear me okay? I'm hearing a lot of static. Can you hear me? As long as you hear me, that's important. You can hear me? Okay. So just as an exercise, all of these words, try to see, paint the words with your voice a little more, just as an exercise, right? So something like, while your loving attitude, try to make the word loving more loving. Try when you say, you know, the difference between strange and sweet. Try to see if you can paint those words two different colors. Strange is one color and sweet is a different color. Bliss, try to really get that bliss in the word kiss. I mean, that is such a sensual word. I mean, it almost sounds like what it is, right? Between the K sound and the S sound, it's a very precious word, right? So start again from the top and really dig in a little bit and take some chances with this text.
In the sentimental mood, I can see the stars come through my room, while your loving attitude is like a
Right. So check this. Very, very, very good. Oh my gosh, it's a world of difference. It's really good. Um, make sure when you say it's like a dream to call you mine, we know how you feel about that, right? Just make sure you add something that lets us know how you feel that you're able to call your love yours, right? Um, and make sure that divine, that you don't take a breath in the word divine. You can take a breath before divine. You can stylize it however you want, but we just need to make sure that the word is divine. Because if you take a breath in it, it's not that, oh, it's incorrect, you're wrong. No, it just makes it sound like the word vine, which is a word, but that's not the word you're saying. It's divine. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Very, very good. Can you start from the rose petals?
Rose petals seem to fall. It's so like a dream to call my heart's light since you made this night a thing divine. In the silent home, I with it all so heavenly. For I never dreamt that you'd be loving
Very, very good. Very, very, very good. Make sure the very last, so for I never dreamt that you'd be loving, right? Sentimental me. Um, find a way in the phrasing of that we understand that is all together. For I never dreamt that you'd be loving sentimental me, right? So if you go, for I never meant that you'd be loving sentimental me, it's harder to understand what you're saying. And what's great about this style is that you're free to make it as intelligible as possible in while still being stylistic and creative and all of that. Um, but I would take the breath before you'd. So for I never dreamt that you'd be loving me, because it's almost like um, you're taking a moment to emphasize that you'd be loving me, like who am I to receive your love, you know? And but otherwise, if you take it after you'd, it sounds like you're taking a breath because you need a breath instead of taking a breath with intention and making it all a part of the singing, because we're singing even when we're not singing. As I was saying to your other colleague, the rests are just as important as the note values. There's so much storytelling in that, and this, all of the rests aren't notated for you. You can sort of decide the best place for yourself, but you have to decide. You can't just leave it up to chance and see how you're going to feel in the moment. As far as the moment of singing, you can see how you feel in the moment of telling the story, but like don't leave it up to what you're going to need vocally in the moment. Plan how you're going to use your voice to tell the story, and then what you can make spontaneous is how you deliver this text. Does that make sense? And make sure that sentimental is all together. I know it's going to be hard, and you might have to spend some time reworking it. or kind of reevaluating it in your mind. To do it on the spot is really difficult. I understand. But if you're saying the word sentimental and you run out of breath, it really is okay to to keep going in the phrase, but make sure you find a way to repeat the word sentimental so that we know that it's sentimental. So if you say sentimental, we miss it. But if you say sentiment and you run out and you go sentimental mood, then it's a stylistic choice, and it's like, ooh, that was special. That was kind of cool. I like how she did that. You know, or if you
5 minutes, Mr. Austin, 5 minutes.
Thank you so much. So it's same thing if you say sentimental mood or sentimental me, right? So just make sure that you find a way to rework that. If you want to take a second now.
You're muted.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So if you want to take a moment now just to figure out how you want to do that, please. And musically and rhythmically, see how are you going to fit it in the scansion of it all. But really, really make a moment. It's the last thing we hear. It's the point of the song. And really make sure that is a special moment for us, text-wise and color-wise of the music and your voice and all of that. So for I never dreamt that you'd be loving sentimental me. So take a moment to figure out how, if you want to go look at the music or something, figure out how you want it to phrase that.
Okay.
You got it? Okay, cool. That was quick. Let's hear it.
Like my last day.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Can I call you ma'am? Is that all right? Yes, ma'am. That's it. That's it. And I love that you deliberately made those choices. You figured out what was best for you vocally and all that, and you still told the story. It still came across. The text was intelligible. Thank you for the D of mood. It really was great. Wonderful work. Really wonderful work. I'm very pleased with your efforts today and your colleagues' efforts today. And I'm happy we were able to kind of flesh this out a little bit. Do you want to sing it one more time? Do we even have time for that?
We have a couple of minutes.
All right. Give it one more go.
We can. In a sentimental mood, I can see the stars come through my eyes while you're loving me. Wings of every kiss, drifts of melody, so strange and sweet in this sentimental bliss. Make my velvet eyes complete. Rose petals seem to fall. It's all like a dream to call you mine. My heart's alive since you made this night a thing divine. In the sentimental mood, I'm with an old soul. For I never dreamt that you'd be loving sentimental
Beautiful. Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you, Miss Paul. Thank you so much. Very, very beautiful. Now comes our question and answer session. And I'm going to ask those students who are there live, if they wish to ask Mr. Austin a question, to please come up on stage. Oh, Mr. Austin, don't turn your camera off. Not yet.
Hold on, my phone needs a charge.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha.
We're good. I'll be back. I'm here.
Okay. If you would like to ask Mr. Austin a question, please come up to the stage and state your name and your class rank and ask your question. If there's anyone, also, if you're watching via Zoom, please put your question in the chat and I will pose it to Mr. Austin. And those who are watching also on Facebook, Facebook Live, please post your question in the comments and I will pose your question to Mr. Austin. Do we have anyone in the hall who wishes to ask a question?
Yes.
Please come up so that, yes, we can see you in camera. Wonderful.
Hello.
Hi, state your name and your class rank.
My name is Stephanie Lassiter and I'm a senior. My question for you, Justin, is so we heard that you sing different genres of music. So how do you go about vocally singing like different genres and keeping the technique?
That is a very, very, very good question. It's also nice to meet you, Stephanie. So for me, it was important to develop a core technique that I could apply to different things and make adjustments as necessary. Depending on the genre or the style of music you're singing, it will call for different things out of you. And you will have to make adjustments, even within the same genre. Even if you take jazz, for instance, since we just worked on Ellington, there are different techniques that you're going to have to learn when singing certain styles of jazz than other styles of jazz. We just sang Handel. And even in the world of Handel, there are different methods of technique and styles within that world, let alone the opera world and the broader world of classical singing. So it really takes a a lot of research to understand what the styles are, what's appropriate, what is what we call performance practice. When these things, which is basically when these pieces were written, what was common at the time, and how did the singers of those times sing this music, and apply that to your own voice, and try to bring as much integrity as you can. But the core technique is so that you don't hurt yourself, and that you know what you're doing, and that you understand that choices that you make are simply that. They're choices that you make. They're not out of necessity. They are because you have decided to do that for a very specific purpose. If you don't have a purpose, then you have to go back to the drawing board and figure out a purpose. And if you do, everyone has limitations to their technique and their vocal ability and their agility and everything. So make sure that you always pick repertoire that shows your voice, and that you're able to shine in, and that you can bring the fullness of yourself and the music to that moment. And so you can be able to be flexible and play around and have moments. I think for the last singer, that song was perfect for her voice, and she was able to make different choices every time. And as long as she's doing them deliberately, they will all work. They might not be her favorite. She might be like, oh, next time I'll do this or whatever, but it will always be effective. And that's the point from is the effect that it has on others, not just ourselves. Does that make sense? Does that answer the question? I know I'm long-winded.
You're fine.
Okay.
Do we have another question?
Hi.
Hi.
State your name and your class rank.
Okay, my name's Akia. I'm a senior, and my question is for nerves. I don't know if you have nerves or anything, but when you have nerves and performing classical music, how did you like set aside the nerves to focus in on your character that you're trying to portray?
Wow, that is a really great question. And that took me a very, very, very long time to figure out. A great teacher of mine told me that if you're ever feeling nervous, make sure that you have a conscious moment of gratitude. Because if you're nervous, that is just your body telling you that you're really excited and happy about what you're about to do. It's not a negative thing. It's actually a wonderful thing. If you're ever about to perform and you're not nervous, that's a red flag.
Yes.
That's a problem.
Yes.
Because that means that you might be phoning it in. That means that you might be tired. Oh, I don't really want to do this. Oh, I got these juries. I don't want to really be here, or whatever it is. That's not where you want to be. The nerves lets you know that you want to do a good job. You want it to work. You want it to do well because you care. So there are ways around making sure the nerves don't get in the way of your intention. And I have tried many different things, and two things combined work for me. On a practical level, I do some quick exercises depending on the situation that I'm in, and the meaning like the physical space that I'm in before I have to perform. Sometimes I have my own dressing room. Sometimes I don't. So depending on how much space there is in the wings, or if it's like behind a door before you walk out, into a class that you have to sing, or whatever it is, try to do some light exercise, whether it's, a little bit of yoga, or sometimes I do push-ups, sometimes I do sit-ups, sometimes I do jumping jacks. And just a little bit, not enough to kind of get my heart rate so high and my breath out, control, but just enough so that my body realizes, oh, okay, we're exercising. We're not about to go sing for hundreds of people, and we're not scared of that. We're exercising now. We're doing something completely different. You're almost manipulating your body, and then you immediately go out to perform. Your body has no time to adjust to the fact that, oh, wait, no, we were scared about this. We were nervous. No. It's still recovering from the fact that you started to work out, and your breath is also, it's a dual benefit where your breath is going and you're able to kind of focus your body, your intention, your breath, and everything all at once. And the nerves should have subsided by then. That paired with, especially in opera, what your character is doing before the audience sees your character. When you come on for any entrance whatsoever, and when you're in a show and you come on as for your entrance, you're not just coming on stage, you're coming from something. You were just doing something. You're a real person. You're not a character that you get a cue and now you're on stage. You are coming from somewhere. And if you're thinking about that and you're thinking about the intention, where I am, where am I going? Why am I doing this? Why am I saying this? Why am I walking this way? Why am I wearing this shirt? Why am I wearing these shoes? Then again, you won't have any time to get in your own way. You're so focused on what is happening and telling that story, and it will work.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any additional questions? Let's see, we don't have anything on Facebook, I don't think. Well, okay, so I'll ask a question. Can you give the students a really quick summary of your career from the time you were little? I know I've known you from the time you were 5 years old, and I've seen your career from there to now. Can you give the students a little synopsis of your career so far?
Whew, okay. So I started my career just sort of being a kid in different shows. Before I even really sang on the stage, I was a part of productions where, it would be a town or a village or something where obviously people would have kids. It wouldn't just be adults in this town. And I would just be one of the kids running around. And that's where I got my first inspiration of wanting to be on the stage and hearing fabulous singers and seeing incredible actors and witnessing, fabulous orchestras. And
now your parents were sometimes on these stages also, correct?
Yes. My parents were on these stages, and I have to give them credit. At the same time, it was their colleagues really that inspired me the most, because when you're biased. I mean, when you're around your parents all the time, they're your parents. They could be the president of the United States, but that's dad, that's
right?
mom, whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's the people that they surround themselves with that I'm able to see with kind of fresh eyes and unbiased, gaze. And it was people like you that really inspired me the most. And people like Kenneth Overton and others, and when I first started singing, I was a soprano. I was a boy soprano, and I would sing a lot of new operas written for that had a boy soprano in it, and then some operas like Magic Flute and other things, the solo and Mendelssohn's Elijah and stuff that will have a boy soprano that I would participate in occasionally, and then when my voice changed actually in the middle of performance. I was doing an opera called The Herndons by composer Sharon Willis, and it was in Atlanta. And It was about Alonzo Herndon. And I played the part of young Alonzo Herndon. And then in the second half of the show, I played the part of adult Alonzo Herndon's son. And the end of that act, there is a duet between Alonzo and his son, and it's supposed to be a soprano tenor duet. And by the end of the duet, but it started a soprano tenor duet. By the end of the duet, it was a tenor and sort of tenor weird thing duet. And that's when I knew that I had to make a change. And all of my colleagues that were my age and voice sopranos at the time, when their voice changed, they went on to other things. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to stay in music. So my mother and I developed this plan where I would be in the world famous Boys Choir of Harlem at the time. And that would be a safe place to transition to whatever voice type I ended up at. So I had to sing alto for a little while, and then my voice dropped to tenor, and then my voice dropped to bass, and then it raised back up to baritone. But that was a really safe environment to figure things out. And I didn't have any solos to freak out about. I could just, be private about my growth. And then from that, I went to high school at Lincoln Center at the FAME school, the LaGuardia Performing Arts School. And that's really where I got serious about honing my craft and really developing a sense of technique and aptitude and language and the aesthetic that I wanted to have for my artistry. And from ninth grade to probably my first year of grad school, it took that whole time to develop my technique. It was that difficult to really have a understanding. And even after I developed it, there were still things that I was learning and that I still am learning that just comes with experience. And there's no way that you can get experience from a classroom or a textbook. You just have to get out there and be brave enough to fall on your face and to get up and learn from that. And I've fallen on my face many times. And that's the only reason I know how to get up and keep going. From grad school, I did, my share of young artist programs, developing my craft even more. And then once I got on the stage, for real, as a baritone, as a soloist, that's when the real learning began. Was the application of all the things that I've learned, throughout the years. Is applying them is what matters. It's not knowing them or understanding them, it's applying them.
And my last question to you, can you please tell the students where you were last night?
Last night, I had a really big performance at the Metropolitan Opera in Benjamin Britten's Peter Grimes. It was opening night for our production, Peter Grimes. And it's a very special piece. Benjamin Britten is an extraordinary composer. And this was his first opera, but it's also known as his most beloved and best opera, as his masterpiece. He was extremely accomplished in his musical writing. And basically he had written everything except an opera. So all that was left was to write an opera. And then the first opera he wrote was one of the most extraordinary pieces of theater and opera ever written. And it's called Peter Grimes, and it's a special production. It premiered 14 years ago. The production, not the opera. Opera premiered in the 40s, but this production premiered 14 years ago, and it didn't come back until last night. So it's a special moment for the Met, special moment for all of us. Usually at a place like the Met, you perform a role around the world, and then the Met invites you to come and sing it there. But for most of us, it was our first time singing these roles. So it was a special kind of once in a lifetime opportunity that the audience had, and also that the performers had, and it was full of energy, full of life, and it was a really great experience. And we have seven more shows.
Congratulations, congratulations. If we
Thank
can bring Professor Laws on very quickly and let her have a few words. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
You can turn your camera on.
I didn't turn it off.
Oh, it's off.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Okay.
My video is off.
There you go.
Okay, there we go. I just want to say thank you to my friend and my colleague, Angela Renee Simpson, for coming into our space and bringing Justin. I want to thank all the students that came, and I want to thank Professor Matt that also came to support. And I just want to say hi again to Justin. I have a nickname for Justin.
Careful.
My nickname for Justin is Kickster. I could always call him because I met Justin on a plane going to Italy. He was sitting behind me. He kicked my seat all the way across. And I turned around and I wanted to be mad, but he was so cute. I couldn't. And I don't know, what were you, 6 or 7, Justin? And we got to the Opera House. And I said to him before we got off the plane, I said, if I never see you again, your nickname is Kickster. He laughed. And I got to the Opera House and there he was backstage. I was like, oh my God, Kickster. Are you gonna kick the scenery behind me through the whole opera? But that's how long I've known him. And he's wonderful. He's sung all genres of music, and he's an amazing singer and a kind and humble soul. And I'm just really, really glad and so proud of you to have been in your world. So that's all I have.
Yeah.
Thank you, Professor Laws. Thank you so much. Mr. Austin, do you have a few words?
I just want to thank North Carolina Central University for having me, CAAPA for having me. I want to thank the singers of today. You all were absolutely magnificent. I want to thank the people that were brave enough to walk up on stage and ask questions. I hope that I was helpful. If for any reason there are more questions, or you didn't want to ask your question, in front of everyone, or if you wanted to work more or whatever, I'm available. I'm a very busy person, but that doesn't mean I can't make time. I'm on social media like everybody else, and you can reach out to me. You can send me a message. I will respond. It might not be that day, but I will respond. So feel free. My Instagram name is Justin Michael Austin. I know it's boring, but that's my name. Yeah, please reach out to me if you want to follow what I'm doing. If you're interested at all, Instagram is also a good way to find out what I'm doing and to stay abreast of my travels and adventures. I am primarily an opera singer, as you all know, but I do work in other fields within the music world. I'm a producer and I'm a writer, and I work a lot in hip hop spaces, as well as musical theater spaces, and as well as opera, concert, oratorio, recital. So if I could be of any help, that is what I stand for. The song goes, if I could help somebody as I pass along, then my living shall not be in vain. And that is my motto. So if you need anything from me, I'm happy to help. Just let me know.
Thank you so much, Mr. Austin. Thank you. So this concludes our CAAPA's virtual masterclass with the North Carolina Central University. I hope everyone enjoyed the performances as well as took away some valuable information from Mr. Austin. CAAPA would like to thank NCCU Interim Chair, Dr. Lenora Helm-Hammonds, Professor Roberta Laws, Ms. Aliyah Busby, Ms. Aissa Paul, their accompanists, Ms. Elvira Green, and Professor James Crew, and finally, Mr. Justin Austin. Thank you for joining us for our first virtual masterclass of the fall season. Please mark your calendars for October 26th for our next masterclass with Elizabeth City University, facilitated by tenor Chauncey Packer. If you are interested in having the CAAPA Virtual Masterclass Series partner with your institution, please stay and watch our exit video, which will have our contact information. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We at CAAPA wish you a great day and God bless.